Welcome to this edition of Buccaneers Insider. My first guests today are the head coach of our men's tennis team, George Samuel and Kevin Seelman. Guys, welcome.
Thank you.
Now, guys, let me ask you about this upcoming season. You're returning 6 players from last year's team. Coach, that's got to be a pretty good sign, especially because of how successful you were.
Yeah, it's a good feeling whenever you have that kind of a return, and also with the addition of a couple of new players who I think have a lot of potential for helping us. So it looks exciting.
When you look back at the way things ended last season, do you use that as, hey, we can take a little momentum from that finish? I mean, you must be pretty optimistic going into this season, right?
Sure. I mean, last year's finish wasn't anything to not be proud of. It was a great finish. It just didn't go our way in that match. We lost a couple of our seniors that were very good players, but you know, we've got some new guys coming in, and new blood is always a good thing. So we're pumped up.
Kevin, you have a coach that's been here for 24 years here.
25
here at Barry. How great is that to have a coach with that much experience and knowledge?
It's really great. Like, always when we go away, like, all the coaches are trying to ask him for some advice because they know how much experience he has. So it's great.
Coach, how important is that you can bring that element of experience to your younger players, especially when they first come in?
You know, for me now, it's a relaxing feeling. Before, it was kind of an uptight feeling, a little uneasy. But no matter what the conditions seem to come about, I can deal with it with a more relaxed state now, and it's good. And I think I send the message to the players in that way as well, where I'm kind of not all uptight and frantic-y like you see some of your new coaches and what have you. I feel very comfortable now.
How important is that? Because I know tennis, a lot of it is mental, and you want guys to stay out there, be calm, focus. How important is the mental aspect that you bring to the table for the players?
Well, I think it's very important. You know, the last thing you want to do is see your players uneasy on the court, starting to lose it just because they're a little bit too stressed out with the match. I just try to go out there and really try to talk calm with them and try to put them in a more relaxed state. That's all.
Kevin, how is that when you're out there? Obviously, tennis, there's a lot of the mental aspect as well. How important is it? How nice is it to have that experience backing you up out there?
It's really nice because sometimes you are really nervous in a match, and then you see coach, he's there, and sometimes he's even laughing. So this calms you, and you're not that nervous, and helps you to go through the match.
Now you have Sunshine State Conference play. It's going to get going in March. How excited are you to get into conference play, and how competitive do you think it's going to be this season?
I mean, we are all really excited. We have been working hard for the last month. The entire team is working hard, and we think that we are really competitive. That's why we want to go there and win it.
Coach, what can you tell people about the conference and how competitive it's been in the past, and how competitive you think it'll be this year?
It's always been a challenge to try to win the conference tournament, and we know that from the years past, it's never an easy thing to do as far as accomplish the championship. The conference is tough this year. It always is, and we don't take it lightly. And as I've told my players, the first thing that I want to try to accomplish is winning that championship. That is the first goal, and that's what we strive for. And it's a good feeling when you do, if you can win it.
Now, Kevin, you're from Spain, right?
Yeah.
Let me ask you a little bit about that. Was it always tennis for you growing up?
Kind of. I started 5 years old. I started to play, and it was always tennis.
How popular is tennis over there?
In Spain, after football, tennis is the most popular sport.
Do you have a favorite player, a guy that you watch that maybe you say, hey, I want to model my game after him a little bit?
I mean, being from Spain, you always, I grew up hearing about Rafa Nadal, about Ferrer. They don't have my game style, but I really like their mental aspect.
What do you think are some of the strengths of your game?
In my game, I think it's my serve and then my forehand.
And then finally, let me ask you just how excited you are this season with so many talented players on this team and so much potential on this team. How positive are you heading into this season and then into conference play?
I mean, I'm pretty positive. That's why I'm so motivated to play my last season, and then we have the chances to win again. we won it I won it 2 years ago already. Last year was unfortunate. We lost in semifinals, but we have the same players. We lost two, but we got two new players. And the people that were in the team, they're better this year. They're more motivated. They're working harder. So I think we have a pretty good chance to win it this year again.
Coach, Kevin, best of luck to you guys this season, and thank you so much for stopping by.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Now I'm joined by Coach Avi Kigo and Sonia Larson of our women's tennis team. Coach, Sonia, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Coach, defending national champions going into this season. Let's just take a look back. Last year, what is that feeling like when you finally win that championship?
It's a great feeling. You know, we've been working so hard to achieve a national championship, and for it to actually happen at the end, it was a very tough match, and for us to be able to go through it and win the whole thing, just a great experience, great effort for the whole team, and just so happy, you know, to be able to do it.
Now that you have that experience under your belt and you know what it takes, how much more difficult is it to now say, hey, I got to go through this again, and to get back to that place?
I think every year is different, and every year is going to be very difficult, but we know what it takes. We did it now twice. We know what kind of training we need to do and what kind of team we need to have. So we have the experience. We're lucky to have most of our girls back from last year. We have Sonia here, a newcomer, that will help us a lot. So we know what we need, but we also understand it's going to be very tough. Everybody wants to beat us. We are the #1 team in the country, and we just need to be ready.
I know it's early for you, Coach, but have you noticed people, targeting you guys? I know you're going to have that bullseye on your back the entire season.
I don't know if it's targeting, but we know that every team will come with a little bit extra motivation just to kind of try to beat us. It's going to be great for their program if they can beat the defending national champion. So we know it, and we talk to the girls about being ready and be able to perform every day at the highest level, and let the tennis decide who's going to win the match.
Coach, with 7 players coming back, how nice of a feeling is it to know that you have that much experience that you can work with this year?
It's a great feeling, this is, I think, the biggest difference between the last time we won it to this time, that we have most of the team back. We had a couple of seniors that gave us depth and a lot of experience that we're going to miss them. But the majority of the girls are back, and again, we got Sonia here with us that definitely will help us at the top of the lineup. So we actually feel that we're better than last year, and definitely looking forward for the rest of the season and see what we can do.
Now, Sonia, for you have all those players that have already been here with all of that experience. Have you taken time to speak to any of them and try to learn some stuff from them as far as what it takes to be successful here?
Yes, of course. They told me a lot of when they won the national championships and how great was the experience to win, and they told me a lot of the stuff.
When you hear about those stories about winning the national championship, how hungry does that make you to want to do that yourself?
Really, so it sounds amazing, and I'm really excited to go there, and hopefully we can do it again.
Now, how long have you been playing tennis for? You're from Germany,
yeah.
So how long have you been playing tennis for?
Since I'm 6 years old, so for 13 years already.
And what are some of the strengths of your game, some of the things that you bring to this team?
So I'm working hard, and I'm really motivated, so that's and in my game it's my forehand and my serve. So
have there been any players on the team so far that have kind of taken you under their wing and been like a mentor to you so far since you've been here?
I think everybody really helps me, so when I have some questions, it's if it's on the tennis court or at school or only on campus, they're really friendly, they help me with everything, so it's really nice with the girls.
Now, Coach, I know you're setting a goal, obviously, to repeat as national champions, and you would be the first team ever to do that here at BarryU, to repeat as champions for a tennis team. But do you look at the conference and you say, that's our first goal, is we have to win the conference championship, and we want to focus on that first?
Of course, we have short-term goals and a little bit longer-term goals. I mean, our short-term is just to get better within each match. Each practice, each match, get better as an individual, as a team. But of course, our first goal is the conference. We know because the strength of the conference, if you don't win it, your chances of actually winning a national championship are not going to be that good. So number one is, of course, to win the regular season and then to win the conference tournament. And then we look ahead into regional and hopefully nationals.
Now, Coach, let me ask you about Sonia right here. How do you think she's doing as far as making the transition? As she mentioned, she had lived in Germany her entire life, comes down here to Miami. Obviously a big transition. How do you think she's doing?
She's doing great. You know, she started with us in the fall, so she's been with us for about 5-6 months. You know, a very good player and training hard, and actually jumped, you know, into the top of our lineup, you know, in the top 3 in singles and top 2 in doubles. So she definitely have the talent, the game, and so far doing great. And I know she can play even better and get better. And just looking forward to see her progress and the rest of the team and see what we can do.
And what was that like for you, making the transition from Germany to Miami? I know it's a lot different.
Yeah, it wasn't easy, but it was a team, and like everybody was helping me, so it was like they make it really easy for me to transition.
And you're enjoying the Miami winter?
It's really nice. It's not like a winter for me, but I like it.
Coach, Sonia, I appreciate you guys stopping by, and best of luck to you this season.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to thank our men's and women's tennis teams. For Dennis Jezik and Jim McCurdy, I'm Danny Rabinowitz. Thank you for watching this edition of Buccaneers Insider.